Hey everybody, this is the second video for Chaos Cult Marines Outnumbered. The first video essentially is a quick overview of the four gods and their specific troop choices. And now I'm going to do another quick thing about demon weapons and stuff like that. The first thing is Chaos Icons. I know some of you may have been thinking, why not just field a Chaos Marine troop choice with an icon for that god? You know, maybe not solely, maybe in conjunction with. Well, firstly, especially for the Thousand Suns, their fluff is pretty much all they are rubric marines with some sorcerers. Not saying that they don't have like anybody; they got a decent amount of people, but it's pretty much rubric marines and sorcerers, and rubric terminators. But we don't have that option in this codex, which is why you give terminators the icon of Tzinch. For certain armies, yeah, like the Emperor's Children, that would definitely work, just having the Chaos Marine troop choice with an icon on it. It would, you know, make them fit in. Or you can even have icon of Chaos Glory and just paint them up with the same color scheme. But that, I'm talking about more about pure cult armies where they do one thing and do one thing very well, like Khorne with the assaulting, without any secondary shooting or what have you. Although icons are a good option for Raptors, or if they can take them, which I think they can. Bike squads, like a bike squad with Nurgle, very good. Toughness 6, nothing to laugh at. Or Terminators, having a squad of chosen Terminators, which ups their attacks by 1, and give them the icon of Khorne, which is upping their attack again, and then give them 2 Lightning Claws, gives you an assault. Expensive, but a very strong assault squad. Maybe keep someone with the power fist so you can hurt vehicles. Whatever. The point is, icons are good, but icons have their weaknesses. One of which being, if you lose that icon, you lose the squad's that ability for that squad. The icon is essentially, think of it as a special weapon or a heavy weapon. It's an upgrade to that squad. So somebody has it. And then, with the way rolling armor saves works now, since he's unique in that squad, he's not like a generic trooper, he has to make his own armor save by himself if he's wounded, or if there's enough wounds to allocate to him. And you could potentially lose him before losing other members of the squad. So that's something to think about. Although icons on regular Chaos troop choices are great for generic Chaos Space Marine armies that aren't devoted to one specific god or aren't about being a cult army. And that's fine. This is just about the cult-specific Chaos armies. Other than that, the demon weapons. Now, this is a sorcerer, so he doesn't have it, and I don't think he can have it. Demon weapons are for your Chaos Lords. They're nice. They're all the same point cost, and the one you get is dependent upon what your mark is. So if you're undivided, you get a generic demon weapon, which is +1 to strength. If you're Khorne, you get a super assault demon weapon, which rolls 2d6 instead of 1d6. If you're Slaanesh, you get a demon weapon that causes instant death. If you're Nurgle, you get a demon weapon that essentially always wounds on a 4. And if you're Thousand Suns, you get a demon weapon that can also shoot in the shooting phase. Now, the drawback is when you roll a 1 for the number of attacks that they can do, or number of shots in case of Tzinch, you automatically take a wound with no armor, with no save. So it's a drawback. I mean, it hurts more for Khorne and Tzinch because they're rolling more dice than the average demon weapon, but the benefits outweigh the risks for some people. So that's demon weapons and icons. Oh, favorite numbers. In the old codex, a favorite number gave you like an extra perk. It doesn't anymore. And for those of you that don't know the favorite number, it's 6 for Slaanesh, 7 for Nurgle, 8 for Khorne, 9 for Tzinch. So what you would do is you would use to field your guys in a squad size of that sacred number. I wouldn't suggest doing that now, especially considering it doesn't do much anymore, except for pure fluff. But I really wouldn't suggest it for Slaanesh, since the number is 6. 6-man squads everywhere are You could have a lot, yeah. You could have a full 6 troop choice in theory, but they're not as survivable as a larger squad. I mean, yeah, you have more of them, so if one dies, you'll have another full 6-man squad, but I would recommend having some 10-man squads in there, and then maybe 1 or 2 6-man squads of Northern Marines. Same thing goes for Khorne, which is 8. I mean, 8 is high, but 8 is right at the cusp of, I don't know, because they're assault heavy. So I'd rather have more men that can charge in there for the extra attacks and whatnot. Now, Nurgle, I would keep at 7 because they're hardy enough that if you're not going to play them aggressively for like assaulting right away with them, that they don't need to be 10. But if you do, I suggest having more is always better, as long as you can fit them in a Rhino and whatnot. So that'll be my suggestion. With Tzeentch, because they can be very expensive, and because the Aspiring Sorcerer is required, I would only field them in their favorite number of 9. It's big enough. The box comes with a total of 9 models in it to make the squad. So you're set. Just buy the box, make a squad. Buy the box, make another squad. So that's favorite number. I mean, it's great for fluff, and in bigger point armies, you could always do double. So like 12 Slaanesh Marines to do the sacred number of 6, for example. And then okay, so play styles. Tzeentch is shooty, like I said. Maximize your shooting. Don't be afraid to fall back. You're not as quick, so remember that you might want to start falling backwards a turn earlier than normal, because you might roll Snake Eyes or 2 inches, and pretty much you're gonna get closed in on by any other army, because you're not always gonna roll a 6. With Slaanesh, they play as close to a standard Chaos Marine Codex. Chaos Marine Codex using, these guys over there, Black Legion, because I'm jumbling my words now. They play as close to a standard army in the Chaos Marine Codex because of, essentially, yeah, they got noise weaponry, but they have normal bolters. They can have normal weaponry. And because of their fluff, you can take Predators, Vindicators, whatever. With Khorne, being that they're assault heavy and they're going to be outnumbered, I would suggest Rhinos, pretty much making them mechanized. I would suggest Khorne always be mechanized. Completely. Maybe not for the Obliterators because they can't, and if you take Obliterators, then they can be your hard point, if you will, where they sit somewhere and just blast away. But, mechanize it. Rhinos, and if you can afford it, at least 1 Land Raider. Because A Land Raider is going to draw fire. B, you can assault out of it. And C, after it does its job of getting the guys to the battle and getting them into assault range, if it survives that long, it'll start bringing its own firepower to bear, which is going to supplement the Khorne army significantly. Start popping tanks from distances and whatnot. So that's pretty much it. Again, this isn't like Tactica, like how to play a game or turn-by-turn directions or how to build a list. It's just more of a general overview and my general opinion on how each army goes. This is pretty much how I'm going to do most of my stuff when it's dealing with lots of options. Like all my Tactica Outnumbered are going to be like this, for example. Maybe a little bit more to talk about when I'm talking about one army as opposed to 4 separate armies. That's just the way it goes. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The next Tactica Outnumbered will be Grey Knights, but I'll probably be doing other videos in between that. So until next time, take it easy.